Good afternoon, everybody. First things first, before we start this video, I want to say thank you so much for the support that my first YouTube video got. I never expected it to gain as much traction as it did. So yeah, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for all that support. A lot of you left many likes. The video hit 100 likes and a couple comments of suggestions or a little bit of praise. So thank you once again for all the support. And never be afraid to leave a comment with some suggestions of what I can improve on, or just saying what's up in the comments. But now onto the video. Today we are going to be taking that same judo video of the first competition, and we're gonna break it down. And for context sake, if you haven't seen the video, please go watch it, and then you can come back to this video and kind of see my breakdown of it. But for a little bit of context, I am still a white belt in judo, and I competed in the novice division for the 98 kilogram, I believe, 98 kilogram division, which is from 178 to 198, and I competed at 194, and I went 3-1 in this competition. So we're just gonna hop into this this video and then just break down everything that happened. So we got the first bout. Stand at the edge of the box. We always bow when we enter the box. Before and after entering the box, we go in, start taking our grips, and we start shaking him. Start shaking the guy, make him nervous. Right. Start attacking, constant attacks. Right. Continuously attacking those legs and then going for the throw. And then I do a little fist pump because I'm a little happy. A lot of people in the comments did not like that. I understand now that it can be perceived as a little disrespectful. Considering that judo is a sport of a martial art and a sport of respect. I'm sorry to anybody that offended, but listen, man, it was my first competition, won my first fight. I was a little hype, but don't worry, the ref pretty much said what all you guys said. Told me that judo is a sport and art of respect, and not to celebrate like that, which I completely understood. So let's go back and see how that fight played out. All right. So first thing off the bat, what I can say is could be considered a mistake or something to work on my part was when I entered. You can't really see it, but if I remember correctly, when I entered, I went to take grip with both hands at the same time. Right. That is for a high level belt. For example, that invites for example, a morotse onagi, right, which is essentially a shoulder throw variation where you grab both my hands. So literally taking my hands, taking my hands, twisting them, and then throwing me over your shoulder, right? So it just invites that. So the way I'm taught is you want to grab a sleeve, you want a sleeve with your non-dominant hand, and a lapel with your dominant hand, right? So a little mistake I made here, I entered in with both, right? Not the worst mistake in the world, but it can be corrected. So we go in, and we start shaking him constantly, making him nervous. And now, if you look 2 seconds before, I'm constantly attacking his legs. And in judo, this is called Ashiwaza, when you're doing a lot of foot sweeps. So I'm constantly rotating. He's going, big turn throw. And what I do is I kind of bump out my hip, my right hip, to not give him that traction. But this was a pretty good attempt. I think if we were if we were closer to the same weight, he probably could have got me here, right? So I bump out the hip, and then I go back to attacking his legs with the sasai. So if we roll back over here, right? These rotating, I'm trying to rotate him over, and then with my right foot, I'm trying to essentially sweep his foot like so, right? So I'm constantly attacking that, rotating, and then you can also see me doing this reaping motion with my leg, which is a no uchigari, which is essentially just I'm taking my foot, trying to reap it around the back of his foot. Right. So then I'm rotating it, I'm shaking him, and then you can hear at this point my sensei goes Seotoshi, throwing a Seotoshi, which is a drop Seonagi. And for those of you that don't know, Seonagi is a over-the-shoulder throw. And that drop Seonagi variation is essentially the same motion, but you're dropping down to your knees at the center of his gravity and then tumbling over, which is a immensely powerful throw, right? So obviously I hadn't drilled that enough in order to pull that off. So I just kept on going with what I thought was right, which is just keep attacking the Ashiwaza, right? So I'm still attacking. He leaves this leg up for a good duration of time. So I think already in my mind that was a tell for me leading up to the Ippon, right? And then if we go over here, as soon as he planted that foot, I went to attack that reap. He pulls it back immediately and then attacks an Asorogari, right? Essentially with his right leg, he was trying to block my right leg and tumble me over. But you can see that it doesn't really work because his hand is all the way back here, right? You have to start pushing me in that direction in order to block that leg and essentially put me on my back. But he didn't do that. He didn't have any pull, so he's reaching, so he has no traction. So as soon as he lifts that leg over, I came in and attacked this leg. Attacked that leg, and it was an Ippon. Just to see it a little bit more clearly. Attacking the leg, put him down, right? So yeah, when attacking that that Asorogari, and this is what the black belts tell me in my dojo all the time. If you're gonna attack it, it's the push and pull motion, right? So your upper body has to already be going in that direction. So it's, you have this sleeve grip, this lapel, start pushing this way, where his shoulder's at, right? Because this is where my upper body's gonna move. If your hand's on this lapel, you start pushing this way, and then you attack my legs. I'm going this way, right? So that's something he could have done better. So I capitalized off of that, right? And then the infamous fist pump where the ref comes up to me, essentially tells me, "You're not that guy," right? So I bow, show my respect, right? I get declared the winner by Ippon. Bow once more, and then just a good gesture. I walk over to him, dap him up, pretty much just showing that there was no harm. I just got a little excited for that first win. And just to clarify, the way you score in judo is either by a perfect throw, where the guy lands on his back as he did, and that's called Ippon, right? Or you can get two wazaris, right? Which is like partial scoring. And the way you would do that is if the opponent does not fall flat on their back, but let's say, for example, off of their shoulder and then recovers, right? So you would get a point of that. So two wazaris make an Ippon. And other than throwing to get a wazari, you can also pin, kind of like in wrestling, where a full 20-second pin is an Ippon, so a 10-second pin is a wazari, right? Two wazaris make an Ippon, so if you, for example, throw the guy, lands on his shoulder, then you pin him for 10 seconds, you've just got an Ippon, right? And then, of course, other than that, you can start working your newaza, which is the groundwork, or as many people more popular would know it as jiu-jitsu, right? So you can start working your jiu-jitsu, your newaza, and start working those transitions, start working those submissions, right? So obviously if you submit the guy, that's it. Or you can throw him for wazari, pin him, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of options when it comes to judo, right? So now we go into the second bout, which is primarily the reason why I'm making this breakdown video, because a lot of people couldn't understand that I lost. I lost here. It was very unfortunate, but the guy's a green belt, more experienced than I am. So, with all due respect, the better man that day won. Right. So, we bow at the edge of the box. Bow once more. And then now we go off. See, already, I knew this guy was quite experienced, because what the first guy did when I attempted to reach is he just went and he reached for his own grip. What this fellow did, as soon as I reached, he rolled the shoulder, right? Which was very good on his part. So now, trying to get the grip in, and let me tell you, this guy was strong. I get my grips and I'm thinking, yo, let me just shake this guy like I did the last guy. No, he was shaking me. He was shaking me. So, this guy was strong. So, with all due respect, right? So now, he's just shaking me. I'm trying to look for an entry. I'm trying to work my Ashiwaza. And then I get hit with this. I tumble over and now I'm fighting for dear life. Even though I knew that I just got scored against for an ippon, right? So let's see exactly what happened. What also hurts me looking back at this, there was a clear opportunity for me to score here. As soon as he rotates over, he starts backstepping, right? So sure, he may have a dominant grip where he has that over the back grip, right over my back like this. It's a dominant grip, right? But he's on the back foot. It's not like he's walking backwards. He's like his, you can see, his legs are right here, but his upper body is over here. So you can see that that little angle, right? He's angled more backwards, right? So what I could have done is I could have attacked, I believe it's a Taniatoshi, right? Where essentially I push him and stick to his upper body, but with my left leg, I put it behind both his feet or both his legs and just drop, right? You can see off of that back step. So look, rotates, those two back steps, I could have attacked that, right? But I didn't, so what is there to fret? So after we get back, we square off to each other, he starts attacking his own little Ashiwaza. And then with this overhand throw, I kind of stiff arm, right, for a little bit of a defensive stance. So what he does is he leverages that over the hand, over the back grip, and he starts attacking a Haraigoshi, right, where essentially he puts his right leg to block my right leg and wants to throw me over, right? But then he does a variation where he lets go of this dominant over the back grip and he goes 2-on-1 on the sleeve that he already has, right? So he has over the back, he's got this sleeve, he turns, blocks with the right leg, and as he's initiating the throw, with enough pull, lets go of this, and then tucks my right arm under his armpit, and he's got a 2-on-1 grip on my arm. So he continues the rotation, and that's what causes me to fall and flail like I did. So you can see this. Initiates the throw, rotates, and then so you can see here, he holds over the back, initiates the throw, and then I flail, and then fall the way I did. And then I'm kind of just trying to fight just in case the ref didn't call it, but unfortunately he did, which, you know, with all due respect, he won. Bow, and then make sure you shake hands, right? So that was that. And then after the competition, I obviously learned, you know, properly how to see that Taniatoshi attack that I could have done, but also how to avoid the Asura Makakomi, which was that variation of, you know, him going from the Haraigoshi, going onto the 2-on-1 grip, and that's what you call Asura Makakomi, right? So I was able to see that, you know, if you're able to see that throw start to initiate, you just rotate out of it, right? It's very simple, but you got to see it in time, right? So now at this point, I am 1-1, right? The tournament is double elimination, so I still have an opportunity to place, but I believe I can't fight for first, right? So we're at the edge of the box. We come in, we bow, walk up, bow once more, take my grips. So one thing I could say off the bat, I don't know if this guy seemed a little too relaxed, or he's just a little bit inexperienced, but super square stance, super squared. in judo or in any martial art you do, you never want to have your feet on the same level, right? You want to have one in front of the other, a little bit wide, so you essentially have that balance no matter what direction you go, right? So if you're here, you know, you can easily go this way, fall over, this way, fall over, or backwards, right? So you want to have a little bit of that balance. So I already noticed off the bat, as soon as I got my grips, I noticed that he was super square, so I started to rotate him around. And then there's a point where his feet are essentially like this. Right here. His feet are like this. He has no foundation, right? So I see this, and I tend to have a wide stance, right? So that's something I got to work on, but this guy had a narrow stance. So I see this, and I lunge in for it, right? Lunge in for a kouchigari. I mean, a uchigari. See this? Lunge in, and then ippon in like, what, 7 seconds? So that's got to be a world record somewhere, huh? World's fastest ippon by white belt. Check me out, maybe. Right? So that's that bout. We bow, of course, and then now this final bout, fight, whatever you want to call it, is going to be for a bronze, so a 3rd place. And I end up fighting the guy that I fought the first time, right? So we were both competing for 3rd place medal. Come to the edge of the box, bow as usual. And then here comes the death stare. I don't know what was going on in my head, but all I knew is that I wanted to win. I was hungry. You know, that loss was still kind of in the back of my mind. Like, it wasn't hindering my ability, but at the same time, like, I'm hungry. I want to win, right? So I knew that this was my opportunity to place. So I just stared this guy down, man. I was feeling really competitive, you know, all due respect to this guy. You know, if you somehow end up finding this, you know, we had a very nice conversation on the side after the tournament ended, so I hope everything is well with your training. But I'm just giving this guy the death stare, man. He didn't deserve that. So I'm just staring this guy down. Ref starts it, we bow, and then we go in. Start taking my grips. So I've got a nice traditional around the elbow grip for the sleeve, and then I've got a grip on his lapel. Then he rotates me around, and then one of my mentors, that's a black belt in my dojo, you know, warns me that you know, yellow line, which essentially is kind of like judo has like a rule set part of like sumo wrestling, where if you're outside the area, you have to be active. If not, then you can get a yellow card, which they call a shido, right? So he's just warning me, yellow line, get back on the inside or get active, right? So I guess you could say that he was going for like an uchigari, right? But he drops to his knee, right? And I pull my leg all the way back, right? So causing me to be a little bit off balance. He's off balance as well. Another thing that I learned after the tournament ended is that even if the guy's got a knee down, you know, push him down, right? So if I would have propelled myself from this position, I could have easily just shoved him over on his back, and either it would have been called an ippon, or I could have just transitioned into the ground game, right? But I think he gets up a little fast, or I just didn't register that he had a knee down, right? So get up, and as you can see, when he goes in for that kouchi, the uchi, my grip slips on his sleeve, right? So you can see right here, I grab essentially what would be an underhook in like a no-gi competition for like jiu-jitsu or just no-gi grappling, but my grip slips on his sleeve, and I kind of get this over the back on his lower back. So essentially I have this lapel, and then I've got like a under the back grip like this, which actually helps me for the throw that I initiate, where I'm propelling my momentum this way, and I do that sasai, that patented sasai that everybody loves, where I'm essentially rotating, and then with this grip I'm rotating this way, and then I sweep the foot, right? So back this up, propel myself, and then sweep the foot for the side finish. And that was all she wrote. Bowed, make sure to show the respect, and that is that breakdown of how I placed third in my first judo competition. And I actually do have the medal here. This is the bronze medal that I won, and I keep it with me as a reminder, both to show, you know, that I was able to win something at that tournament, but at the same time, it's a reminder to keep me hungry, because this time, this is going to become a gold. Alright? But once again, I'd like to say thank you very much for all the support on that judo video, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to break it down for some people that may not know the sport of judo, and essentially see my thought process behind it. Remember, I'm still a white belt, so this is purely from a white belt perspective. So if there's anything that I'm saying that's essentially wrong or can be corrected, please let me know down in the comments, because I know there's a lot of black belts out there. There's a lot of higher ranking belts that know a lot more than me. So I am more than happy to continue to learn and grow as I continue to practice this martial art and the sports side of judo. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for all the support. And then I'm about to do the corny stuff. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video out. It'll mean a lot to me. And I'm essentially going to use this channel to document my martial arts progress. So not only am I training and competing in judo, but I'm also trying to work on my striking as well, like kind of like kickboxing, Muay Thai kind of style. But that's like very like minuscule that I'm doing on the side. But primarily, I'm here to become not only the best judoka that I can, but an all-round grappler with, you know, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the judo. Because all of those three martial arts combined is deadly, right? So if you have any advice or things to correct, please let me know down in the comments below. And I will see you on the next video. Appreciate the support once again.